Remember the biggest punch to Russia's economy when the Ukraine war began? No, it wasn't the sanctions. It wasn't the NATO's fancy press conferences. It was actually the sudden stampede of Western companies fleeing Russia like it was on fire. In 2022, in the wake of Russia's war on Ukraine, dozens, no, actually hundreds of Western brands vanished from Russian shelves and skylines overnight. McDonald's pulled the fries, Apple pulled the plugs, Shell and BP pulled the oil. The great corporate exodus had begun. It wasn't just an economic decision, it was a PR cleanse. Everyone wanted to be seen on the right side of history. The former US President Joe Biden applauded the decision. He wanted Russia boxed in, branded as a rogue. But guess who's not really into canceling Russia? Well, Donny Boy is back, and yes, he wants a deal. With Trump 2.0 back in the White House, the mood has shifted. Quietly but unmistakably, President Putin has now instructed his cabinet to start drafting the terms for Western business to make their Russian comeback. Yup, the big brand reunion tour might be on the cards. After a closed-door meeting with the domestic business lobby Devolaya Russia, Putin told his ministers to come up with a plan. How can we let individuals from unfriendly foreign countries to do business in Russia again? Buy real estate, trade stocks and open shop like it's 2019. Let's pause here for a moment. That list of unfriendly countries actually includes just about everyone with a G7 seat. US, UK, EU, Japan, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, and so on. But maybe, just maybe, the term unfriendly is now open to negotiation. The Russian Finance Minister Anton Silunov has even hinted that the investment restriction could be soon eased, especially if the West sends signal of good behavior. Translation of this is that stop lecturing us and maybe we'll let you sell burgers again. So, Putin is not even now pretending that it's all forgiven. He has just said that it benefits Russia to let someone back in. We'll allow it. If not, we'll find 1,000 reasons to keep them out. Classic Putin, stun that energy. But, viewers, here where it gets juicier. According to the Kremlin investment envoy, approximately West has lost $300 billion when they pulled out of Russia. Now that's enough to make even the most ethical CEO flinch. But now, thanks to Putin-Trump discussions, things are warming up. Trump recently also told reporters aboard Air Force One that he's flying to NATO summit and he'd like to strike a deal with Russia to end the war. The same Trump who had been recently having friendly phone calls, where even Putin offered his help to mediate the war between US and Iran. Although Trump declined that offer because definitely it was a humiliation for him, Trump wants Moscow back at the table, and he's reversing the Biden-era hostilities brick by brick. Direct talks have resumed, economic diplomacy is back in vogue, and Putin's smirk is practically visible from space. And meanwhile in Kiev, well, Zelensky is shaking his head. The West's favorite wartime hero is now watching the same folks who rally behind him is now cozying up to the guy who invaded him. The man who was once the poster boy of democracy versus autocracy now finds himself increasingly sidelined in the realpolitik latest session. Now call it House of Cards, Eastern Front edition or whatsoever. But yes, it is happening. And yes, we can also very soon see the golden arc rising over Moscow once again, with Big Macs and business suits ready to pour back into the Kremlin playground. Not because morals change, but because money never left the conversation. And if that happens, well, bummer for Ukraine and Zelensky.